Immediately following this powerful affirmation, the Spirit led Jesus into the desolate wilderness. There, for 40 days and 40 nights, obedience and resolve. Returning from the desert, filled with the power of the Spirit, Jesus began to call his first disciples. And powerful miracles that drew crowds and challenged the authorities of his time. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to continuing this incredible story with you. In the ancient lands of Galilee, a voice arose, not of a king in a palace, but of a carpenter's son with a message that would echo through eternity. Jesus began his ministry, and his words were unlike any heard before. On a mountainside, he spoke of blessings for the poor in spirit, the meek and the merciful, laying down a new vision for humanity in what would become known as the Sermon on the Mount. His teachings were not just spoken, they were lived. With just 5 loaves and 2 fish, he fed a crowd of 5,000, a miracle of abundance that revealed a divine generosity. For those living in darkness, he brought light, touching the eyes of the blind and granting them sight. In a stunning display of authority over nature itself, he walked on the turbulent waters of the Sea of Galilee, a testament to his power and a call to faith. Each act was a sign, a glimpse into a kingdom of love, compassion and divine power that he had come to proclaim. As his ministry drew to a close, Jesus gathered his 12 disciples in an upper room in Jerusalem for a final, poignant meal. This was the Last Supper, an intimate moment steeped in ancient tradition and new meaning. He took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and gave it to them, saying, "This is my body, which is given for you." Then he took a cup of wine, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you." It was a profound act of fellowship and foreshadowing, a premonition of the sacrifice he was about to make. In this simple meal, he established a lasting memorial, an invitation for all future followers to remember his love and his covenant. The quiet fellowship of the upper room soon gave way to the shadows of the Garden of Gethsemane. There, in agonizing prayer, Jesus surrendered his will to the Father's, knowing what was to come. The tranquility was shattered by the arrival of temple guards, led by Judas Iscariot, one of his own, whose kiss was a sign of betrayal. Jesus was arrested and dragged through a series of unjust trials, culminating in his appearance before the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. Despite finding no fault in him, Pilate, swayed by the demands of the crowd, condemned Jesus to the most brutal of fates. The path to Golgotha, the place of the skull, was a journey of immense suffering. Jesus, beaten and scourged, was forced to carry the heavy wooden cross through the streets of Jerusalem. The weight of the world's sin was upon his shoulders. There he was nailed to the cross between 2 criminals. In his final hours, he offered words of forgiveness and commitment. "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, and into your hands I commit my spirit." As he breathed his last, the sky darkened and the earth trembled, marking a moment of profound cosmic sorrow. His death was not an end but a sacrifice, the ultimate payment for the sins of humanity, handled with the deepest reverence and solemnity. 3 days later, a new dawn broke, not just over Jerusalem but for all of creation. Mary Magdalene and other women went to the tomb to anoint his body, only to find the great stone rolled away and the tomb empty. An angel declared the astonishing news: "He is not here, he has risen just as he said." Soon after, Jesus himself appeared to Mary, and then to his bewildered and joyful disciples. The resurrection was not a mere resuscitation, but a glorious victory over sin and death, proving his divinity and fulfilling the scriptures. It was the ultimate demonstration of God's power, turning the deepest despair into everlasting hope. In the days that followed, Jesus appeared to many of his followers, teaching them and preparing them for the mission ahead. Then, from the Mount of Olives, he gave them the Great Commission, to go into all the world and share the good news. As they watched, he was lifted up and a cloud received him out of their sight. The ascension was not a departure, but a coronation, as Jesus took his rightful place at the right hand of the Father. He left his disciples not as orphans, but with the promise of the Holy Spirit and the unwavering hope of his eventual return, a promise that continues to inspire and sustain believers to this very day.